I'm not gonna give up. No, you're not gonna make me, take me, break me. Oh, 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 oh. I forgot to put the closed captions. What's up? Hola, good afternoon. How y'all doing? How y'all pimps doing, man? It's another day. Today's Wednesday. When I first woke up this morning, I thought it was Tuesday. I was messed up. It's Wednesday. I'm checking to see, do we have notifications? Do we got notification? Yes, we do. Okay, we got some more coming too. Amazing. What's up, SOS Taco Trump? What's going on with Trump, by the way? Trumpito. There's a standoff. And that's all I know. There's a standoff. I'm about to look into it to see what's going on. What is going on today? Let's see if I can find something on this. Oh. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Barricade. Okay, I got an article. Let's see what's going on with this situation. Just another day. Police on the scene of a barricade, Baltimore County. Oh, I got another. Oh, that's what I'm using right now. Okay. They say we can hear someone. We can hear police shouting for someone to come out of the residence. A neighbor who lives along the block tells me police have been there since 11:30 this morning. Damn, so they've been there for a while. At food line up the block, officers are in tactical gear, but waiting to hear more information. The wagon wheel? Oh. All right. Hamilton Public Safety Procedure. There's a lot of stuff going on today, looks like. I don't see any scanner for this situation. Not yet, anyway, unless they're encrypted. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Baltimore again. Yes. I think I need to add that to the title. I didn't put, did I put, oh no, I didn't put Baltimore. Let me do that. So quiet. Baltimore Barricade. Okay. Some people watching here. No audio. Somebody said, take them out. Let me send out a notification on Facebook. Doesn't seem to be much action. Oh, man, this looks crazy. The driver of a pickup truck taken to the hospital Wednesday morning after a 3-vehicle crash involving a tractor trailer. Whoa. That thing looks crushed. How does somebody walk out of that? Away from that? Wow. What in the heezy happened there? One armed suspect arrested after barricading an apartment. That was Texas. Okay. Everybody's barricading themselves. I'm not coming out. My body, my choice. You can't make me come out. Let me copy the link, drop it. Barricade. By the way, Barricade. Join the live, Facebook. By the way, with the story from Dominican Republic that we've been covering, they're saying that a suspect, a person of interest, I said suspect, it's actually a person of interest, has been announced. Now, am I surprised or shocked? No. What's the only thing that surprised me about that, see, person of interest, is how long it took for them to say that shit. Right? Like, person of interest named. They're just talking about the video footage we covered yesterday. Missing student Sudiksha seen staggering while in the arm of a person of interest. A person of interest has been named. Is it the same guy? Yeah, Rib. Joshua Rib, person of interest. Maybe they considered him a person of interest, but they didn't want to say that outright because maybe they wanted to see how much they can get out of him. But to me, off rip, I was like, the story with this guy was sus. Changing stories, conflicting stories. He goes there with her. He leaves without her. Supposedly, when he was with her, a wave caught her. Why didn't you call 911? I don't know. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense to me. On Dane? No. I mean, I just got in the house. Well, actually, I was here, but then I went to get Maddie, but I haven't really sat on the computer this was the first time I sat on the computer today. The diver spoke out. The diver that found Dane, he spoke out. I haven't watched that interview yet. He did do an interview, maybe with 2 news stations or 1. And the police, there's no press conference yet. I was thinking maybe at some point they might do a press conference, I would think. But I think what police said yesterday, leave the family alone. Or give them privacy or something like that. Oh, look, here's the cops. Let me see what's going on here. They seem very relaxed. But they got the big boys here to the side. I don't know what they're doing here in this corner. Wish the quality was a little bit better. But yeah, but so with Dane, nothing really. Besides, he was found, I think it was 3 miles from the house or something like that. Really sad, in the water. There was an article I just saw. I wanted to scan it to see if there's anything new. You know, and a lot of people were kind of like putting heat on the family, the mother, the father. Supposedly, what I heard with that story is that the dad has cancer. I haven't seen it for myself. I need to like look it up, but I heard he has cancer and that he was on the other property and the mother was bringing over lunch like she usually does. And so she left the kid alone for a little bit, Dane for a little bit, and that's what happened. But yeah, nothing new. And it's interesting too that this person from California comes and in 2 hours finds Dane. Everybody has a very relaxed demeanor on this scene. This is live, by the way. Live on the scene. Everybody seems very relaxed. The cops and everybody. Stationary, what's up? I wish there was a little bit of scanner audio. Let me see. Let me look them up specifically. Maryland. Let me listen to this for a minute, see if anything plays.
We're on the channel.
10-430 of 809. Everyone stay in place. Stay in place.
Did you need me to take another call?
Negative, just was checking on you.
Thank you. I haven't made it to my car yet. I'm 10-4.
10-4.
13, is that off? 25, is that off the sheet hand? 10-4, 1448.
Looks like G. Garrett or Harris.
1448.
10-4, I'll get someone to give them a call. 10-4, they're just in log on. Just making sure they're still here or if they work on.
Dispatch to 327.
128, Charles. Go ahead.
So just a quick update on that call, the hit and run that you're on to. The new one states that the dad is on the way to the scene. They were the ones involved in the vehicle. They did not have license and permit on them.
Can you log me on manually for now? You just tell me 10-7 at the precinct.
All right, 10-4. Thank you.
10-4, 1449.
809. I left command post is conferred. Have patrol take over that apartment.
CK4.
Go ahead. Precinct 11. 10.
5-4 going up.
You went 25, now it's going to be priority 4.
10-4. Precinct 11. Dispatch to 325.
57, send me a copy.
1111. I've sent them messages and added them to the call. They're not responding.
850.
850.
Are they leaving?
25, you can log 113 on field. 10-4, thank you.
39, good.
851, go ahead. 850, 851. Just meet us over at the scene on 10-4.
10-4.
10-4, 1449. Unit standby. I'm trying to drop a call for PJ4.
Man, unit block of Susquehanna. Cross Street is Washington.
10-4, can you see if it's available?
Let me tweet this lady. See what's
Aviation on the channel.
29.
I'll be out with her. Just put B23, Susquehanna.
Oh.
In front of the credit union.
10-4. 1140. Any supervisor direct on the runaway?
Good.
09, what is it?
Air call for unwanted at the one-stop convenience on Summers Run. It's for a 9 to 10 subject smoking marijuana.
Oh,
No
no,
units.
not marijuana. Not
It's
marijuana.
available.
10-4, how old?
Air to Woodlawn.
Wow.
1450. Between 10 and 11, it's a black female. She should be wearing a pink hoodie, blue jeans, and a clear book bag.
Yeah, we're there.
Aviation of Woodlawn.
10-4, 1450.
10-4, I'm direct. Do they still have eyes on her? And if we are still not on the phone with the school, if we can contact the school and try to get a direction of travel and everything.
10-4.
Looks like they're leaving. This morning, the O'Hare Airport, I didn't. I wasn't home. I heard there was like a shooting. Hey, Karen, what's up? There was really no information on this besides there is a standoff, but it almost looks like some of the people were leaving. A standoff, and what else did they say? Police are on scene of a barricade along Dune Tour Place, and they could hear police shouting to come out. They've been there since 11:30. Barricade on Parkville. Ops have moved to White Marsh. Is that the same thing or no, something different? Let me see what this article says. They said it's just a barricade, but they won't say what it is exactly. Seen some vehicles leave. There's only one cop car there. And it looks like it's coned off. But yeah, I heard about the shooting this morning. Some type of, at the airport, some guy was shot or something. What happened to that guy? And this is that pickup truck we just saw. That was the accident. Shannon says, here's a picture of it. Nasty accident. Damn. Oh, look at that. Steve Fisher was on last night on Law and Crime.
Something going wrong with the male that she was with. But I think right now, in my mind, as an investigator and as a search and rescue specialist, is drowning is likely.
So Steve Fisher thinks drowning.
And I know you've investigated a lot of different missing persons cases.
With the Dominican girl.
What
she's
type
not
of
Dominican,
evidence would need to be seen for foul play to even be still more of a possibility than maybe that drowning theory, which really seems to be the one that authorities are treating it as at this point?
Sure. Well, this resort in particular, I'm sure has a ton of surveillance, probably a lot more than we've heard about. I'm sure that even the beaches are covered from longer distance surveillance cameras. And also, the rest of the group didn't come back up from the beach until 5:55 a.m. And I believe dawn is about 6:15-ish there. So this was not, the dead of night. And that's when workers will start being out there to set up lounge chairs and whatnot. And so I think it's going to come down to, witness statements that saw him and what his actions were, if he was looking for her in the water or if he was truly just passed out, I think, which is something he claims. And then, of course, if they find any, I don't know if she had her cell phone on her or not, but obviously a lot can be done with that with Celebrite and, it means like that. But I think it's going to come down to surveillance and obviously the interviews of the rest of the group she was with.
In your experience with these interviews, because I think to your point, there's been drowning deaths at this resort in Punta Cana, but when you have a case where at an all-inclusive resort where, let's face it, they're college kids, probably been drinking all day. The male that she was with has said that he passed out. He threw up and passed out on the beach. It was reported that there were some inconsistencies in his story. When was the last time we saw her? She was on the shore. She was in the water. She was taken by a wave. I mean, how do you balance inconsistencies that I know there's people in the world of social media that say that's a bit suspicious with the fact that, let's face it, they were at an all-inclusive resort and they were college kids that were drinking all day and clearly he at least was intoxicated.
Layla, happy birthday. Layla, happy birthday. I hope you have a great, amazing day. I hope you get to relax, have fun. Well, I'm sorry I forgot to turn on CC when I started the stream and I can't turn it on anymore after it starts. I will try to remember for the next one, hopefully.
When all this happened.
Yeah, and I've seen surveillance of them heading out to the beach, and listen, they're clearly intoxicated, especially him.
Yeah.
As far as balancing that all out, it's really going to come down to what the actions were. I know he's given these different stories, but we don't know if those are truly different stories or if those are different stories that have leaked out to the press.
Right.
Another recent case in a drowning death that I was investigating on, Riley Strain in Nashville. The same thing happened. There was a lot of stories that were out there that we knew were not true as investigators, but we couldn't really clarify at the time. So, I don't know if he's actually, if authorities are actually claiming that he's given different stories or if the press has heard different stories. So, it'll come down to that. Now, if he has given different accounts, that's a problem. That's a real problem because there should only be one story. But I also believe there's going to be other eyewitnesses out there of what his actions were at the time because the sun was coming up. And by the time he left the beach, there was a ton of people probably already out there. So it'd be interesting to know if he was truly asleep or if he was looking. Why didn't he summon help immediately? There were certainly people around 6 a.m.
You bring up a good point there because a lot of the information that we've been getting here in the United States has been through police sources in the Dominican Republic. Some speaking, I know, to like ABC News, some speaking to the local Dominican outlets. So it is hard to kind of piece together what's fact and what's truly the case, though this timeline is coming together that they were drunk at the beach and potentially she drowned. When you do search and rescue efforts or searching for missing people, what are some of the challenges that the ocean provides when it comes to getting evidence?
Yeah, so I mean, these rip currents. Well, anytime you mix alcohol with water, I mean, water even without alcohol is just so deadly. So much
Right.
can go wrong in
4:15 in the
water,
morning. Yeah.
yeah, and then you mix in alcohol and rip currents, and we don't know what type of swimmers they were. And listen, I know when I was on spring break and everything, you especially in different countries, you kind of feel bulletproof, right? You go down there and that's just not the case, and tragedy can happen. But then it's a whole, from a search and rescue point of view, if somebody is in the water, it becomes a whole different challenge, because initially that person's going to sink and they're going to stay like that for, depending on the water temperature and their individual body dynamics, they're going to stay under there for a couple days before they surface again, and then you have a very limited amount of time to find them before they're going to sink again. And so it's a big challenge.
And that was my next question, because I know her father, who's in the Dominican Republic, and you just can't imagine what he and this family is going through right now, trying to find some sense of closure in hopes that maybe she's still alive. But I know one thing that he had said was that she would have come ashore if she was drowned. She came ashore. Rip currents. How difficult is it to recover a body from the ocean, especially if it's someone who's taken by a big wave or a rip current in a place like Punta Cana?
Yeah, they indeed will come ashore. However, with a rip current, it is a current that's actually taking you away from the beach. It's going against the the wave pattern, and it's actually shooting you out into the ocean. And from there, once you drown, you immediately start to sink. And once you're on the bottom, you're not in that current anymore, and until you float again, which takes a couple days. So there is a window of opportunity. It depends how far you get taken out to sea, and you're not guaranteed to wash up on shore. In fact, one of the people that drowned in January for the same resort still has not been found.
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee. And no,
they had a drowning in the resort earlier. I didn't know that.
We all hope that if this is the case, she's found, obviously, so the family gets closure. But it's not a sure thing that she will just wash ashore.
Beyond just obviously a body, but I think of some of the images we've seen of the helicopters that have been flying over the beach as they've been doing these search efforts. If you're in that helicopter, what are you looking for? That, I mean, clearly a body, but I mean, that's a lot harder than it seems when you're up that high and you're looking for something in the ocean. I mean, how do you go about trying to find some sort of evidence along the beachfront?
Sure. So what you're looking for is actually it's not even in the form of a body. It's just kind of a mass of water that looks a little different, a little denser. But it's incredibly hard, because if there's any waves at all, it's constantly shifting that. It almost looks like a blur pattern. And if there's white caps, it makes it really hard. But if it's dead calm, the water becomes like a mirror where you can't see through it. So it makes it really hard. But there are also modeling programs that can now predict the float pattern of somebody that's been washed to sea based on the current tides and everything. I don't know if I assume they probably have it down there. I know our U.S. Coast Guard and search and rescue teams that specialize in water rescue have it. If they don't have it, I'm sure it's been made available to them. I'm sure we're offering all the assets we can with FBI and everybody involved. But it's just because you got a helicopter view, it does not make any guarantees. It's still very, very hard to see, even in clear water like that.
Knowing that you have the Dominican authorities that are leading this investigation, but the FBI is involved, you even have her local sheriff's office.
Damn, Kayla says there's been 5 people who have died from drowning at that resort since January. Wow. Mamma mia. Mamma mia, that's a lot. That is a lot. And I wonder what it is. Is it riptides? Rip currents? Apparently the hotel is catching some flack too, some heat, because I guess now they're offering flash sales. And so right now they have these special deals while Sudiksha is missing. And I don't know if that's just, regular business, or are they like, you know what, let's take advantage while we got all this publicity, don't let it go to waste. It's going to get these flash sales going on. The Rio hotels and resorts have come under fire after it posted a flash sale for its Dominican Republic property. Come get it now. They're offering where a double room at the 5-star resort can be had for $88 per night. 2 other ads promoted rates starting at $95, which included a 10% discount. Wow. The time of the offer did not sit well with TikTok users as authorities in Punta Cana continue to search. Focused on the lost American Indian student from Rio Punta Cana first, one person commented, so people are upset and angry. You couldn't pay me to go to this shit after the experiences that I've heard people talk about. No power, no water, dirty, people scavenging for food. It's not like a fire festival event. Hell nah, you can't pay me to go to this shit. So they're catching some heat, slack, and now they're saying that supposedly other people have drowned at this resort, allegedly. We saw the video yesterday. A lot of people are kind of talking about it today, but we talked about this yesterday. This, I believe, is in slow-mo. They're walking down. It's 5:16 a.m. Slow motion. And now the guy's named as a person of interest. And supposedly conflicting stories. At least, I mean, I saw that from CNN, and now I see other news reports saying that, but I don't know if they're just sourcing the one source, CNN, or they got that from somewhere. But something has to be going on if he's a person of interest. But I thought they said he was cooperating. I thought he was cooperating. Didn't he stay? I thought he stayed in a hotel or something. I thought he was cooperating. What else? They said here too that the hotel, people complaining about the water safety. Other problems at the resort where college students vanished on spring break. Okay. I reported on Monday, March 10th, citing a Dominican Republic investigative police report. She's believed to have subsequently drowned in the ocean. However, that conclusion has been criticized by local authorities in Virginia. Okay. I wanted to see where's the criticism at. Guests alleges lack of communication by hotel over safety. In an interview, we saw that Delaney Sweeney, who said she was a guest, I remember the waves being a lot bigger than they normally were. I know a couple of friends who did go in, but they weren't in for a while. There was no communication. Okay, we saw that too. Power outage stirs guest anger amid students. Yeah, we covered all that stuff too. Power outages, no internet service, poor food. What kind of rundown slums is this? Wow.
Office in Loudoun County, Virginia, that's been making statements about assisting. In your experience, when it comes to, the Dominican authorities have experience working with the FBI, obviously. I mean, a huge part of their economy comes from the United States and college students that are going for spring break. So it's not like they've never worked together before. But how do these investigations typically work when you have people coming from so many different agencies trying to accomplish the same thing?
Yeah, so the Dominicans are in control of this investigation, but now you got FBI attaché offices involved and whatnot. They're always going to be the Dominicans are always going to be the lead in this as far as the press and everything goes. But I can pretty much guarantee you that the FBI has has a lot of say in there right now. They're not the lead; they're an assisting agency, but they still have a lot of power even out of the country, and I guarantee they're leaning on them a little bit in kind of forcing their way to assist. They won't take any credit for it, but I'm sure that's going on, and I'm sure there's a lot of assets that they might not have that they're being offered. A lot of intelligence as far as whether it could be a drowning or something else, because there's everything. It's not just if she's in the water, of course, there's going to be a lot of surveillance to, be analyzed and to be enhanced, and a lot of interviews to be done. And I'm sure the FBI is going to want to sit down on those interviews and assist. And although the Dominican will be the lead, I think the American agencies are probably sitting side by side with them.
It'll be 1 week on Thursday if we're still sitting here talking about this disappearance. If there is no, by that point, resolution to what happened, if there's no evidence, what would happen next? If we're kind of in this place where you have, there was no surveillance apparently on the beach.
So in January 2025, a TripAdvisor review expressed condolences for 4 individuals who lost their lives in the sea near the hotel, emphasizing that these deaths were avoidable and distressing. So there was something that happened in January. 4 people lost their lives, according to some review that was left in the sea near the hotel. And then I see December 2024 discussions on Reddit highlighted concerns about multiple drownings at the hotel, including an incident in December. Let me see. Can I look further into that? Let's see if we can get something else from here. 2021, my girlfriend at the time and I were on the beach of another resort at 1 a.m. She went to piss in the ocean. We were both drunk, and she just kept going out further and further until she was about waist deep. No sign of stopping there. Mind you, she's very, very short, like 4'11". I was yelling at her to stop and come back, and she wasn't listening, so I ran full sprint into the water and literally picked her up and brought her back to shore. My phone flew out of my pocket during the run, and we had a huge fight. She was trying to throw her phone into the ocean because she was to blame for me losing my phone. Drunk people do dumb shit. Somebody said, don't marry her. I got married to her 2023. Okay, all right. I had to let it go. Fuck it. You lose my phone over that shit. You want to stay in there? Stay in there. Okay, so reportedly some previous incidents had happened at this or around that area, drownings, I guess.
To see exactly what happened, but you have the testimony of this person who she was with. We know that her friends left. She was never seen, was never seen after that point. I mean, what would happen as this goes on for this investigation? I mean, I know her parents have asked for more to be done to look into the kidnapping or abduction possibility, though. Respectfully, there just hasn't been a lot of evidence proving that at this point. What would happen next?
Well, after a certain amount of time, what's going to happen is that those kids are going to come home. They're going to be back on U.S. soil. And the search and rescue efforts are, just like with any other search and rescue effort, is going to wind down if it's not successful. And then it's, unfortunately going to become a private effort for the family. I'm sure an investigation will continue, at least on the books, with Dominican authorities. What that entails, I don't know. It seems like they're pretty confident this is a drowning, and I don't think they're going to make a huge effort to locate her if this goes on another 4 or 5 days. I can't imagine it beyond that. They'll probably call it off, just like the U.S. Coast Guard would too. So then it becomes a private effort. And if they're not investigating a foul play narrative, then it's probably going to be extremely frustrating for the family. And they're probably going to have to go to private efforts if that's something that they feel really needs to be explored. But I think they really need to look at what is available. I'm sure that they're going to show them what surveillance they have so the family can get to a level of possibly get to a level of comfort that it most likely was a drowning. And so they'll probably see a lot more in the next few days. I don't know if the public will, but I think the family will, for their own peace of mind. And it'd be interesting to see if they kind of come around and start to agree with the possible drowning theory in the next few days, because I think they will be showing what evidence they have.
Lieutenant. Guys, yeah, 4% guys for now.
10-4, 10-4, 15-14. A missing person came in for 200 Duke of York Lane. I believe it's 715 post. Now, so there's a slight language barrier. They want to report that their friend went missing 3 weeks ago. Do you want me to send 13, hold it for 715? How you want it handled?
Take it home.
So, precinct 7-1 for life. 240.
40.
I just want to make sure it's okay to hold that past that from vehicle on the hill core for 42.
10-4.
10-15-14.
11-13.
28. 8-14 dispatch.
Dispatch to
Good
11-13.
afternoon. We are out here at the scene of, it's an undetermined type scene right now. What I can tell you is that earlier today, our missing persons unit and homicide unit were out working a missing persons case. One of our missing persons investigators was walking through the woods as this was an area that we were concentrating our efforts on, and we did find a body of a female. Now, at this point, it's too early to tell definitively if this is the person that we were looking for. We were looking for a female in her late 20s. The body that we found does seem to match. But again, we have to wait on the medical examiner to make a definite determination of identity. We also, at this point, are treating it as a possible homicide until we find otherwise. Again, it's too early to make that determination. But what we can tell you is that the body has been transported from here by the medical examiner's office to the medical examiner's office, and we are in the process of working with the missing person's family to determine if this indeed is the person that we're looking for. Esta tarde nosotros estábamos buscando una persona desaparecida. Cuando nosotros, uno de nuestros investigadores que es carga de las personas desaparecidas, nosotros tenemos que esperar al médico forénsico.
I can allow.
10-4.
25 on direct.
Would you get a chance if you run a tag for me for owner info and insurance, please?
10-4, what's the tag?
2-6, I'll direct on that. You can mark me 10-8.
15-16.
9 Frank Paul, 9232. Police surveillance tag.
10-4, you say you need owner information and insurance? 10-4, stand by.
625. Did that barricade ever conclude on 108?
Yeah, 10-4, everything's done.
Thank you very much. I'll be switching back. Thank you.
Yeah, somebody say something about the barricade.
625 was just asking if it ended.
57, I'm direct on that parking and playing on west. As soon as the guard gets here, I'll start over there.
Okay, 10-4.
15-17. 226, 228.
Oh shit, I'm muted. Bro, I'm here talking, asking you guys questions. Oh my God. Lord help me. Okay. This is what I was saying. There's this bizarre story. Colin Griffith. You ever heard of Colin Griffith? Anybody in the chat know who Colin Griffith is? This kid, his father's dead, his mother's dead. Mama and the father. You got a lip read. Who knows? Come on. You don't know? Okay, you don't know. All right. So it's suspicious. It's suspicious, to say the least. 2 separate incidents involving his parents' death. Now, in February 2023, then 15-year-old Colin, he's such a nice kid, fatally shot his father, Charles Robert Griffith, in their Lincoln County, Oklahoma home. Now, he claimed it was self-defense, stating his father had him cornered, prompting him to shoot him. Authorities found no evidence contradicting his account, leading to the dismissal of the charges. Okay? Fast forward now. So his dad's dead. Now, in September 2024, on September 8th, Colin's mother, Catherine Griffith, was found dead from stab wounds in her Auburndale, Florida home. Colin reported that during an argument, she lunged at him with a knife and accidentally fell on it. She fell on the knife. However, the medical examiner deemed this explanation implausible. Neighbors reported witnessing Colin dragging his mother by her hair into the house prior to the incident. Colin was subsequently charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. Well, during the trial, Colin's defense argued self-defense, highlighting the tumultuous relationship with his mother, who allegedly had a history of violence towards him. Testimonies indicated Catherine had previously exhibited unpredicted behavior, including an instance where she allegedly pointed a gun at Colin. After approximately 11 hours of deliberation, the jury acquitted Colin of all the charges. Wow. Despite the acquittal, authorities, including Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, maintained suspicions regarding Colin's involvement in both deaths. Bro, mom and father dead. It's just self-defense, man. A lot of people think and believe that this kid did this shit. That's what people think. But he was acquitted. So the father's death, they dismissed the charges. I don't know how much of an investigation they did. And the mother's death, they found him not guilty. So now Law and Crime just posted this. So this is in, let me share the screen with you guys. They just dropped this video. November 14, 2023. Psychopath teen acquitted of mom's brutal stabbing gets arrested. They just posted this today, but this is back then. And so this would be 2023, 11/14. So this is after his father's dead. His mother died in September. Griffith was acquitted of murder charges in his mother's case. Body cam footage shows Griffith getting arrested after an altercation. Let's check this out.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, you guys can come on in. He's doing standing marches. He's not a happy camper right now.
Can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message.
It's Colin, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on, man?
Last night, me to a physical altercation. I got arrested for domestic battery, but going in front of the judge today. I have a right to public defender, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay. So how is the situation with you and right now? Are things calm
I wonder if who is this?
down? Are you guys able to get?
I mean, what family is it with the? I think the mother is still alive at this time. Is it the mother or grandma?
Wrong. What are we at?
No, sir. It's not good. She thinks that I beat the shit out of her. I don't. She thinks that I'm like psychotic, like literally psychopath, sociopath, something like that. I don't know exactly where she's at. She thinks I'm going to kill her, and that I want to kill her, or that I want to beat the shit out of her.
Do you?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt anyone, let alone my mom, even despite this happening. But
There's his mom.
I'm not going to take what I consider abuse when someone's attacking me. And
Thanks, Kayla.
How is she attacking you? What kind of abuse are we talking?
When she attacked me. When she threw a punch at me, grabbed onto me, I grabbed onto her back. I got her off of me. She hit the ground, and then I fled and called Rentis, and then he sent someone out.
You called who?
Rentis, Detective Rentis.
Okay. So basically why we came
You got a direct line to the cops.
back is when the jail was releasing you to your mom this morning. Was there anything said then?
Yeah, I said that I didn't really feel safe there with myself and with her, and that I didn't know what was going to happen. I still don't know what's going to happen.
As far as what?
Her attacking me or her doing something to herself or me.
Okay, what about you doing something to her? Are you able to control yourself?
I'm in a constant state of fight or flight, and I don't know. If I think she's going to do something, even if she's not, I might act. I'm not going to like go crazy or anything, but I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay.
You're not sure if you're going to hurt?
Only if she tries to hurt me.
Okay. Did you make any statements saying that you were going to kill
No,
your
sir.
mom if,
No, sir.
if you got in a car with her?
No, sir.
I'm trying to figure out why we would have a corporal at the jail that took you out, that dropped you off to your mom and telling us that you said, don't put me in a car with her, I'm going to kill her.
Whoa.
Yeah,
was that said?
I did not say I was going to kill her. I did not say kill.
I didn't say kill. Murder, maybe, but I didn't say kill.
I don't know why he sent me back here. I asked him not to, but he said he didn't like my attitude and that I had to just work on it. And he sent me back here. Like his words, not mine.
Okay. Well, we're just trying to figure out. We just want to make sure we do everything we can to prevent anything happening.
Sir, given the situation, I don't think that we should be in the same house at all. I don't think it's okay. I mean, we're going to court anyways at 1. God knows what's going to happen then.
How are you getting to court?
By car. Probably over.
Do you drive? How old are you?
Yeah, but I have to have an adult in the car with me.
You got a learner's permit?
Yeah. She's been trying to lure a confession out of me all day. It's been, well, it's not, sorry, not all day, but.
So what does this all start over? Has this been ongoing forever, or has this all of a sudden happened last night?
For a long time. So I came to live with her after my dad died, and since then, there's just been kind of times when things boil over with her, and she acts out. One time she pulled a gun on me. I called the cops. I guess I wasn't believed. So
What got her to the point that she's doing these things?
I don't know.
You have no idea. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she pulls a gun or hit you?
It's because that I'm driving her crazy somehow with the way that I act, and I don't know how I'm acting badly. She talks about school a lot. My grades are fine. I got a 3.7 GPA.
Okay, I mean, obviously you're not, you're a smart enough kid. I get that or whatever, but I mean, obviously it takes two to create this type of environment in this situation, right? And I've heard nothing. You haven't said a word about what's going on, what you're doing, or what is going on to provoke this, or where it's coming from, other than out of the blue, your mom flies off the handle and does this stuff. I'm struggling with that a little bit.
She claims that because I don't help around the house, don't seem to follow rules. A big thing for her is that I don't make a schedule. I don't schedule my day. She has ADHD and a lot of other stuff. She was really abused by my dad, from what I know, and that kind of just made it to where she has these very specific things that set her off, these triggers. They're strange. It's hard to understand them. I still don't. So that kind of just sets her off, and I'm worried that she's at her breaking point. I mean, with everything that's happened, how could she not be?
So how long ago was your dad passed? Sorry to hear that, by the way.
7 months.
7 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
He attacked me, my dad.
Oh, God.
And
Here we go.
when he did, he tried to kill me with a knife, and then it was in Oklahoma, and he died.
What do this and other stories we cover?
Bro. And so less than a year after that body cam, I wonder if more body cams going to come out. The mother's dead from stab wounds. And Colin, the son that we see right now, he said that they got into an argument and she lunged him with a knife and she accidentally fell on the knife. Bro.
I shot him when he tried to kill me.
Did you already have a gun in your hand?
I was fleeing, and the house was filled with guns, 23 to be exact. And
you knew who they were?
I didn't seek one out. I was just trying to run, but and I was cornered, and I had nothing else. There was a gun, and she got that happened.
I was just trying to kill you.
He's also a bit of a case, but homophobia. It's a bit of other stuff.
Oh. So is that why?
No. We don't have any problem with that.
No, I'm saying, is that what you think about pulling a gun out on you, or what?
I don't know. I think she
know about that incident?
She does, and she thinks that as a result of that incident beforehand, that I'm like murderous or sociopathic. She said sociopathic a lot. So lack of, I don't know the clinical definition, but basically she thinks that I'm an emotionless, narcissistic, murderous person.
Are you seeing anybody about that situation and try and work through that, or what?
Online therapy, but other than that.
Online therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, how's that working?
It's going, I guess, but probably going to miss this session and the next session because of everything that's going on.
Okay.
Hey. How are you, sir?
Okay. So right now, I mean,
Just gonna push him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they arrested him? Oh.
This is the second time today.
Okay.
Damn. I don't know what's going on in the kid's life.
Should. If not, they'll definitely know, make sure they know where you are.
Still gotta speak with my attorney.
Worried about his court appearance.
Is this an arrest or a Baker Act?
This is bigger. You ain't got anything on you. You just gonna poke your
You got something in your pocket there? I don't know what that is.
My wallet.
Hey, you got him, but hold on one second. You're good. Let me just talk to Sergeant first. Go ahead.
Nothing in your wallet? Shouldn't be there?
I don't think so.
I'm guessing you just came out of jail with that?
Yeah.
Basically, just so you're aware, I don't know what end she's got going or whatever, but some of the statements that we were told by some of the jail staff when you were here or whatever is going to warrant us a Baker Act, you to make sure everybody's safe, make sure you're not a harm to yourself or others.
Yes.
So just so you know what's going on.
I think it's better that I don't be in that house anymore.
Okay.
Regardless, so if you agree with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is probably the best result. Would you agree?
Yeah. I just want. Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't spoken with my attorney, so I need to make sure that happens before my court date.
Right. When you get there or whatever, I'm sure you'll have access to the phone. Do you know who your attorney is? Do you have that information?
I don't think I've been appointed one yet.
Okay.
And I have a court date at 1, so I should, but I have a right to speak with him, so I need to speak with him immediately.
Well, I mean, you're not being arrested right now. So.
I know, but I am having a criminal case brought against me, so I have to speak.
Right. Well, when you get down there, you'll have access to a phone, and you'll be able to make some phone calls and make that happen.
Can I know what's going on?
Yeah, we'll explain things to you here in a quick second. Hey, Sarge.
Bizarre.
Walked out and saying, I'm afraid to be in the house with her. I'm afraid that I will hurt her. I'm afraid I will kill her.
We're good to take
you
him.
meet
We're good to go.
criteria to hurt yourself or someone else. You got it in. Yeah. No doubt.
All right, we're good. You're good. I'll explain to him. I'll talk to him.
So, we'll walk to his second.
I wonder why I blur the whole house.
His glasses.
I guess they edited it out too.
Yeah, he does have glasses. Can I speak with him?
I think he wants to talk to you.
Okay. Can you find out?
Well, I need to get his glasses first.
Yes, sir.
Can't be things I ask. No. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's my pack, of course. All right.
Who's that?
It's
Lord, oh Lord, Lord Almighty.
Ma'am, they have to go. They have to go. Yeah. Yes, he did. To a jail staff, they have to go. Okay? That's not, I don't know how others treat it, but I'm telling you how we treat it. And he's going to be bigger. Okay? And I don't want you, it's not that I don't want you to not talk to your son, but I don't need the situation. And he didn't, he may have not told you, but he told the employee of the jail what he was going to do. And I completely understand with what you're saying, that he may use that as a tool, but we don't use Baker Acts as a tool. If it's a criteria, we have to do our job.
And so when he gets there, if he tells them he's not homicidal or suicidal,
I don't care what he tells them. He told the jail staff he wants to kill his mom. He's not staying here with mom.
I understand he already has a dead dad. I get it.
Ma'am, I've never, this is the first time I've met your son. I don't even know your history. I don't know the history of his dad. I know a little bit.
Were you able to speak to Rentas?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he say?
That's exactly where he's going.
He said Baker Acts him?
All day long.
Oh.
I talked to Rentas, and his boss just called me as well. That's why I walked away a second time. Because we want what's right for him, but we also want,
I know
but
you
we
guys are
have an
trying to
obligation to
protect
protect you.
I understand.
And protect him. We have to protect both. Because even though he didn't threaten to harm himself, he threatened to harm his mom. And either way, that
I know, he beat the shit out of me last night. I know.
And with all due respect, you can't have them here last night where you were fearful, and then 4 hours later, you're recording, because that's gonna, recording's not helping you when he chokes you out. And you, what's the recording gonna do? What's the recording? It's not bringing you back. You'll still be dead.
Wow, that's so eerie.
I'm not trying to make it sound like it's an easy task, man, because I'm sure it's a tough thing to do. But I struggle with a kid that's being released from jail and saying, if you bring me back there, she's gonna die.
Wow.
If we don't do something, then,
shame on us.
Yeah, then we're not.
Shame on us that we didn't do our job, and we failed you. And I'm not failing you, nor am I going to fail your son. I think Lacey's probably going to come talk to you.
Is she?
Okay, yeah, I haven't talked to her directly, but I know Rentis. When I hung up with Rentis, Lacey was calling him. So I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
If you talk to Rentas again, if you can ask Lacey to talk to me, I would really appreciate it.
Of course. Lacey's good people. You got a good one there on your side.
She's amazing, and so is Rentas. They've been great, and I know
they want to help you. And
I know they were here for 4 hours yesterday, trying to figure it out. So
this was before,
because we had something on Monday, and then he came home, and he wasn't even home for 20 minutes, and he just stood up and said, "Let's do this," and literally in front of my own mother, like, attacked me. He literally threw me to the ground, kicked me, stomped on my hand, broke part of my phone case because I was trying to record, and I don't know.
But what happens if it goes to another level? What happens if that
It already has
attack
gone to another level. His
But if
dad is dead, okay? Let's just be real.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but the point
But
I'm
not-
trying to make is what happens if he I know his dad's dead, but that's nothing we could, that aspect of it, I don't want to say is over, but you know what I mean? If he kicked you, who's to say we don't take it to another another level? So, you know, if he's gung-ho that you have to die, or he wants to kill you, that's my concern.
I don't know why he said that I need to die, though.
Maybe he doesn't know either. ma'am, maybe he doesn't know either. I don't know.
Do I need to go to court still at 1?
I don't understand. I don't see. I mean, I'll call the SAO, but why would she have to go to court? Let me call. Actually, let's do this here.
I'm sorry, can we go back to
Yeah,
the
let's go
house?
back inside if you want to do that.
All of my neighbors are already like, oh my God.
I'm sorry. I thought we would be intercepting. I didn't.
That is so eerie to see that. And now she's dead. She's dead after that. Less than a year after that, she's dead. The father's dead before that. Holy crap. And then he walks away from the trial. They find him not guilty. Grady Judd issued the following statement. Our detectives firmly believe that Colin Griffith murdered his mother. The jury determined that they could not convict him beyond and to the exclusion of all reasonable doubt. Holy shit. Damn, how many people have to die? Holy crap. Lord almighty. It's Karen Reed people wilding out. These free Karen Reed people wilding out. Jesus.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with me today. I've got 2 items that we're going to go over. And the first one that I want to talk about is a murder, a cold-blooded murder of a 39-year-old mother by her 17-year-old son. And it's not just a singular murder, but as we got into the investigation, we found that about a year and a half, maybe a year and 8 months, 9 months earlier, he murdered his father in Oklahoma. So let me tell you about this. It all started on September the 8th, which was this last Sunday, when we got a 911 call from Colin Griffith, who's 17 years of age. And here's what he said. He said he and his mother had a very long fight, and she fell on a knife and killed herself. And she's bleeding from the neck. He didn't say she killed herself, said he's bleeding from the neck. So our 911 operators appropriately were giving them instructions on how to do life-saving techniques. When the deputies arrived, he met the deputies outside, and he was calm, cool, collected, not upset, and he had blood on him. What we found inside was this knife. This knife is 12 inches long, and of the 12 inches, 8 inches of that is the blade. So he's saying that his mother fell on this knife. We started our investigation at that point. The next morning at the medical examiner's office and the autopsy, the medical examiner said it is not reasonable or plausible that she died the way that he said she did. Just didn't happen. There were witnesses outside the mobile home that actually saw Colin drag his mother into the house by the hair on her head. Colin is about 6 foot and 160 pounds. So an investigation started. This residence was at 77 Hewlett Drive, which is Auburndale, and it's called the Hamptons. It's a 55 and over community. And where it occurred was at Colin's grandmother's house. Colin's grandmother at the time was not there. She has another home in the Keys, and that's where she was. Mm-hmm. But let me go through some details, because as we start to peel back the layer of this onion, we find out that this is not just a singular event with Colin stabbing his mother in the neck and ultimately killing her. Here's what we found, and follow me as I read a timeline to you. On February 14th, 2023, on Valentine's Day, in Lincoln County, Lincoln County, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
There's a Lincoln County, Nebraska, too. In Lincoln County, Oklahoma, Colin said that his dad pulled a knife on him, and he shot and killed his dad. That's right. His father was named Charles. He shot him once in the chest and once in the head, and he claimed self-defense. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations charged Colin with murder in the first degree. They dropped the charges less than a month later. They said they could not disprove Colin's assertion of self-defense. So he was released. Well, when he was released in March of 23, just barely a month after the original murder of his father, he came to Charlotte County, Florida, to live with his mother. And when he came to live with his mother, Catherine Griffith, who was 39, you would think things would be better. He would be really, really lucky that, hey, this was a self-defense and I'm here with Mom. But 6 months later, guess what happened?
Another accident or self-defense.
He's Baker acted. So it's September, and as he's getting out of the original Baker Act, he makes a statement that, well, I'll kill myself or I'll kill my mother by shooting or stabbing her. Charlotte County re-Baker Acts him the same exact day. They keep him 3 more days. Now we're 2 months later. This is November 2023. Colin then is arrested for domestic violence on his mother. And the reason he battered his mother is because she was disciplining him and took his video game privileges away.
Oh my gosh.
So he beat up his mother.
There was some kid that killed the mother, almost tried to kill the father because of the video games. Telling her to get up off your ass, go get a job. It's time to get up and start making something of yourself. The kid killed him.
He pushed her to the ground and he stomped on her.
Wow.
The grandmother was there and witnessed this. Colin said it was self-defense. She made me do it. The grandmother said, no, no, no. Your mother did not provoke this at all. You simply were being disciplined and made to give up your game because of failure to carry out what you should, empty the garbage, wash the dishes, whatever they gave him to do. He claims self-defense when he stomped his mama, but he went to jail anyway. 3 months later, 12th of February in 2024, he has an argument with his mother, and he runs away from Charlotte County and comes back to Auburndale to his grandmother's house. Now, his grandmother's not there. And we got involved in this on the 12th of February, and the mother said, and the grandmother said, hey, we don't feel safe with him around. So our deputies who found him up here as a missing persons reported in Charlotte County turned him over to DCF. 2 days later, on the 14th of February, the anniversary of him killing his dad a year ago, he's reunited with his mother by DCF. Colin made the statement that I don't want to go home. I'll use any force necessary to avoid it, to include killing my mother. So that's the second time he threatened to kill his mother. 2 weeks later, so they didn't make him go home on the 14th, but about 2 weeks later, in March 2024, they reunite Colin with his mother again. Everybody's calmed down. Now, in May of 2024, Colin graduated from an alternative high school in Charlotte County and began attending community college. Now let's advance 4 months later to September the 6th. Colin has an argument about home chores, and he flees from his mother's house again and comes up to his grandmother's house. Grandmother's not there. She's in the Keys. So then mom lets the event calm down, and she tells her son, hey, you need to come home. And she asks him to come home and face his responsibility. Colin says, I'm not coming back home. That was September the 7th. So now we're to the fateful day on September 8th. Mom drives up here to Auburndale from Charlotte County. She arrives at 4 o'clock. At about 4:30, witnesses and neighbors see Colin and Mom arguing outside, and Colin grabs his mother by the hair and drags her into the house. Just about 2 hours later, that's when we receive a 911 call where Colin said, I've had a very, very long fight with Mom, and she fell on a knife and she's bleeding from the neck. Our investigation clearly and unequivocally shows that that circumstance did not occur like that. In fact, he used similar language to when he made the 911 call, 18 or 20 months earlier, when he shot and killed his father. It's important to understand, when you look at this, you see a kid. When I look at him, I see a psychopath.
Wow.
I see totally erratic behavior, to the point that he's already, at 17 years of age, shot and killed his father and got away with it, and stabbed his mother in the neck.
Wow.
So hard that the knife went all the way through and was to the back of her neck, and she died there. He's being charged with first-degree murder, obviously, and we're asking the state attorney's office, it's their decision, but our state attorney's office is the greatest, to prosecute him as an adult. We've also wrapped back around with the prosecutors, the DA's office, as they call them in Oklahoma, and they said if we develop information during this investigation that allows them, they will reopen the murder investigation
Of the father?
in Oklahoma and potentially charge him out there. But at this time, they did not have sufficient information to charge him with murder. The unfortunate thing was now he's killed 2 people and killed his mother and father, and I can assure you, beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, based upon his conduct, had he gone to live with his grandmother at the end of this and she crossed him,
she probably would have killed grandma.
She would be next. He's violent. He's dangerous. He showed zero remorse.
That's what they said about the trial too. I didn't watch the trial. They had zero empathy. He didn't feel nothing. And now he walked free. I wonder who he's staying with. Is he on his own, I guess?
Zero remorse.
I bet you he has a bunch of fans, too. Oh, we love you. It's a bunch of women throwing their panties at him. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I love you so much.
When he was being interviewed. In fact, when we attempted the interview, he met the original deputy.
That's hot. I like that. I need some spice in my life.
Yard. And he didn't say, Mom's in here, Mom's bleeding to death, Mom needs help. He looked the deputy in the eye and says, I know my rights, I want an attorney. Zero emotion about, hurry up, help Mom, she's bleeding, she's got a problem. He is a dangerous human being.
Wow.
And we have him securely locked up, and we are working with the state attorney's office. We're putting the rest of the investigation together. we have began to talk to some of the family, which has confirmed that he is a dangerous person. Before I go to the second event, are there any questions?
Sheriff, do you think the system failed him, that he should have never been out?
It just gets better all the time. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Mindy. What a crazy story. I had always kind of heard of this, but I never really like sat and listened to like a press conference or anything. It's so wild that he killed his mother and father. And the father, he's saying it was self-defense. And the mother, he's saying, well, she lunged at him and she fell on the knife. And so they're both dead. And he got acquitted. He was acquitted this year in February of all charges. So do we have the reaction here?
Not guilty on all counts at when it stays
about the defendant is not guilty.
Oh, that boy's smiling. I mean, I guess anybody would be. Let's see over here. Who's he spending his time with now?
As to count one, the defendant is not guilty. As to count two, the defendant is not guilty.
With an embrace from his defense team, Colin Griffith learned he will not be a convicted murderer. The 17-year-old called 911 in September to say his mother was stabbed in the neck at his grandmother's home in Auburndale. He initially told dispatchers she fell on the knife, but 5 months later, at his first-degree murder trial, his attorney Amy Thornhill argued he acted in self-defense.
But the law requires you to consider what Colin knew about his mom to decide whether you think he acted reasonably in defending himself.
Thornhill says Colin Griffith and his mother had a very disturbed relationship, which Colin Griffith alluded to himself on body-worn camera video while speaking with deputies at their Charlotte County home in November 2023.
I didn't really feel safe there with myself and with her, and that I didn't know what was going to happen. I still don't know what's going to happen.
Griffith was living with his mother because in February 2023, he shot and killed his father in Oklahoma. He claimed self-defense then as well and was never charged.
Now, his attorney tells us that she is thankful for the jury's attention. Meanwhile, Sheriff Grady Judd said in a statement his detectives firmly believe Griffith murdered his mother and said the investigation into his father's death in Oklahoma is ongoing.
That is so crazy. And so even the detectives were like, yo, this kid murdered his parents. But that's the system. I don't know what happened in that courtroom. I don't know. I feel like sometimes these people on the jury, they take that like beyond reasonable doubt, like to the point of like, if you didn't see it on video of him murdering it, it wasn't uploaded to YouTube, it didn't happen. And so any little, well, I'm not sure about it's just it, boom. He's off. Let him off. I think some people are taking so literal like that they, if there's not a video of it happening, well, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. Holy shit! How much do you need? The kid said he was gonna kill her multiple times. I want to kill this woman multiple times. Said he was gonna kill her. They see him dragging her ass inside of the house. What the? How much more do you need? Oops! Acid just fell. Just happened again. Bro, I don't know. Whoever, I don't know who he's living with. I don't know if he has family. Pray to God he doesn't go to grandma. Colin Griffith was seen hugging his public defense team and then smiling towards his family members, including his aunt and grandmother sitting in the court. I wonder if they believe him or how do they feel, the grandparents? Ay, mijo, I know it's an accident, mijo. You're so nice. What happened? How does this shit happen? And I feel like it could happen again. Maybe we'll be here again another day. Another time talking about somebody else, a potential victim. And what is he going to say the next time? Just an accident, self-defense. Wow, grandma supported him? He already knew too in the body cam we were just watching. He was like, yeah, I need my lawyer. Smart. He already knew what to do. I need my lawyer. Baker Act. Make sure you Baker Act me. Thanks. It's like, damn, bro, this guy knows all the shit. Crazy. Ed Kemper. I saw a good documentary about that. Pretty scary though, man. I've seen a lot of these stories with these kids that just kill their parents on some simple shit. I mean, I don't know what this kids deal with. You know, part of it was the video gaming thing at some point. There was another story that we covered like that, or we mentioned it, where they just told him, hey, you need to go get a job, man. Like playing games all day. Yeah, there's a mixed thing about games because I feel like sometimes it can keep you out of trouble. I feel like it somewhat kept me out of trouble, but I also felt like I could have been more productive younger. I think there's like this weird balance and stuff like that, but you can't even tell that to the kids anymore. I need you to get off the tablet. I'm gonna kill you! Like, holy crap, what's going on with these kids? No! No! I would have caught the belt. What'd you say? Sad. Crazy. Eerie, too. And it's so eerie to see, like, the body camera. They were, like, warning her. And now she's dead. All right. Well, I guess that's it for now. I guess that's it for now. I'll be back. There's two stories that I think kind of piqued my interest that maybe we can cover. One's an old story that I wanted to update. I was actually going to do that before I saw there was a standoff that turned out to be over. I don't know if they arrested the guy. Let me see if I just see something else now. Oh Lord. Okay, the barricade. Let me see if they updated the article. The situation has been resolved. The sergeant said the situation ended peacefully. No one was arrested. What the hell? What did they do? Just shook hands and walked away? That's what the article says. Yo. It says here, the sergeant says the situation ended peacefully and no one was arrested. Wow. I promise I won't do this. Okay, sir. Have a good day, you too. Bye. Then it goes to kill somebody. Wow. Okay. So that's that. At least we got some type of closure on that. I know sometimes people want to know what happened. There is another situation. Oh, they stopped it though, huh? Waiting for signal. Looks like a big accident. Oh, they ended it. Okay, there was like this big semi crash. Let me just see if I can show you guys a snippet. If it lets me show. See. Semi hanging off a bridge. Oh, I wish I would have saw that. I would have streamed that. Let me see.
Well, so
oh, the chopper's leaving. I wanted to see if I could pull it. I guess the situation's over. Let me see. Semi. Oh, they're launching too. Space Crew 10. SpaceX Crew 10 launch. Are they launching with the crew this time?
So big, she couldn't fit it in the car. So, because she is the leader and problem solver that she is, she sat in the driver's seat with one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand holding the pizza on top of the car, her left hand.
Didn't the last launch blow up? They're sending people for the rescue? Oh, they're still alive. Oh no, the live got off. This is the semi though from a minute ago I was talking about, but the live ended. Wow. Final destination everywhere we go. And a small plane crash landed.
Breaking news right now, just into the newsroom after an emergency plane landing. This is what we know so far. Our top report was over the scene of this small plane that went down in Miramar. This is in the area of the 13,000 block of Monarch Lakes Boulevard. Police tell us at this point that engine failure brought down that plane in a field near a...
Left and right. Let me see if there was two people on board, no injuries. So they got lucky. So they're actually launching a crew into the air? Wow. Let me see if I can look up more information about this. I know. Was it Layla, were you the one that said that they were going to send to rescue these people? I forgot that these people were even stuck in space on the International Space Station. Watch SpaceX Rocket Launch Crew 10 relief mission. Is ferrying a crew of 4 into the International Space Station for a 6-month residency. Wow. 3:45 p.m. Eastern. So we're ready. Let's listen, I guess.
And her classmate Christina Birch and my classmate Anne. And another thing that Anne and I have in common is that we actually were on the selection board for Nicole and Christina's class.
How about that?
So that makes us, I think, as individuals, really even more invested in them, in their success, and really just feel responsible. And, you know, especially now that Anne is flying with Nicole, as she said so eloquently, we live with our choices. So, you know, we know that we definitely got it right with this class, but just that level of personal investment is so incredibly satisfying for us to be, you know, working with these astronauts now that, you know, we kind of trying to mentor them and help shape them into these fine young astronauts on their first mission. So it's really, I would say, one of the most gratifying parts now after being here for 11 and a half years is having that mentorship role. And I know that's so important to Anne, and it's made for a wonderful relationship with her and Nicole.
Wow. Truly invested in this mission, both of you, on multiple different levels. Let's talk now about Takoya Onishi.
All right, so Heather was telling me that apparently this thing is taking off in 4 hours, almost 4 hours. It's not even happening now. I thought it was happening now. I guess right now they're like introducing the pilots and all this stuff. I would come back later when they actually launch. I don't want to sit here for 3-4 hours, just, you know. But I would come back for the space launch for sure later. They're actually launching people. I could probably come check it out for a bit. We gotta do. Maddie needs to do her homework. It's early though, it's still early. But I think if I jump off now and then we come back later for the launch, that'll be good. There is 2 other. Well, one story doesn't really have a time crunch on it. One story I can do whenever, it doesn't matter. So I'll save that for we have extra time. But there is another more current story that I do want to talk about at some point. It's a weird one. I need to research a little bit. But yeah, they're going to launch some people up into space, the International Space Station. A crew of 4. Coverage tonight's launch. We'll spend 14 hours after launch catching up to the ISS. Oh, it takes 14 hours before docking with the orbiting lab. Let me check it out. I don't know. But so is this to save those people? Yeah. What happened to those people that were stuck? Stuck in space. Is this to rescue those people? Stuck in space. NASA astronauts prepare to return after 9 months in space. Yeah. They just left their asses up there.
First time that we've had 4 pilots on a crewed
mission. Oh, you can now?
All 4 of them able to fly, which is impressive.
They're launching from Florida, right? Like North Florida, Mid Florida?
Lastly, this is mission specialist and Roscosmos cosmonaut Kirill Peskov. His first flight.
She looks terrified.
Mission will also take him to the International Space Station for the first time. Before his selection as a cosmonaut in 2018, he was a co-pilot on the Boeing 757 and 767 aircraft for airlines Nordwind and ICAR. Assigned as a test cosmonaut in 2020, he has additional experience in skydiving, zero-gravity training, scuba diving, and wilderness survival.
Interesting.
You know, I haven't had the opportunity to work with Kirill since he's one of the newer cosmonauts, but I've heard such wonderful things. Everybody really comments on his sense of humor and adventure. Apparently, he is always setting off in his SUV and driving all around various parts of Russia, and continued that tradition here in the U.S. when he was here for training as well. And he actually his father was a pilot, and his mother was a meteorologist on the airfield. So it seems like his fate really was lying there in aviation.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump off for now, and we'll see what today brings. We got the launch happening later. There's another story that I can cover. And there's one that doesn't have any kind of time constraint. I can cover it whenever. All right, guys. I will catch you later. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Stay safe. Subscribe, please. Subscribe. I keep forgetting the sub thing. Subscribe, please. Would appreciate it. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bloop, bloop, bloop.